Batman 75. It's the start of City of Bane and maybe the start of a climb back up for Bruce. Let's see. Hey there, this is Perch. So I'm going to do something a little bit different. So this is like a live comic review. Pulled this thing out of the box, and I've seen some teaser pages, but honestly, I can't remember what I've seen. Solicits. It's an interesting phenomenon where the solicits get ahead of you, and you're really focused on that because you're trying to make orders, you're trying to understand what's coming up, and then the stuff comes out of the box, and it's like, oh yeah, I remember kind of reading the solicits three months before, and now here's the actual comic. What were they promising again? How does it relate? Ty, there's this kind of mental reconnect you have to do. But what I'm going to do is I'm just got the comic here, and I have not looked through it, so we're going to do this review together as it goes. So I'm reading and reviewing. And I'm a fast reader, so that should all be fine. So, City of Bane. Let me just start on the offset. You know, Tom King. A lot has been said. I think fair, unfair. I think a lot of unfair things have been said, but a lot of fair comments as well. Kind of about the tone that he's established. I think people they like that the point starts out right, and then people take it like 5 steps further into other territory. But anyway, Tom King, Tony Daniel. Beautiful cover. This has been promoted, so this is not a new cover, but just some nice stuff. We're getting Bane, and I like the logo and everything else. So let's get into it. So later, this looks like this is looking like Frank Miller. It has a Frank Miller feel to it. It's always nice to have Frank Miller feels when we're doing that. Okay, so we're right dropped into Gotham, and we've got a police car, and looks like Gotham looks as crappy as before. It's raining. It's always raining in Gotham. Gotham is not Seattle. Gotham, I think, is supposed to be Chicago. I think that was the initial idea. Anyway, so we've got a police car. Oh, it's the Joker and the Riddler. They're riding around in a police car together. Why are they doing this? Oh, because the villains have taken over. That's clearly what we're seeing. So the Joker, I like Tony Daniel a lot. I really do. I like his Riddler. I love his backgrounds. I like his other stuff. I don't like his Joker. The Joker looks weird to me. I don't know. What's odd here is they're investigating a homicide. Why would the Joker and the Riddler be investigating a homicide? That doesn't seem right, but okay, maybe we're going to find out. Oh, it's meant to be shocking. We're like, holy cow, things have really changed. The villains are in charge, and they're doing like police work. Why are they doing this? So looks like some kind of no-name villains here. Maybe I'm supposed to be recognizing these guys. I don't. It's late. I don't. And we've got the Riddler, and they're calling each other by their real names. That's always odd. The Riddler is phoning it in, so he's calling Hugo Strange, I guess is what he's doing, and Joker is flipping a coin. They're really playing up this they're police, so they're got all the police mannerisms. The Riddler's kind of looking odd here too. I'm disappointed actually that the characters are kind of changing from panel to panel. Like the Riddler, has some some upper body kind of in one panel and just like super anemic in another. But okay. So anyway, I got Commish Hugo Strange, and he's doing his thing, and looks like they're off to do something. And Hugo Strange apparently is a new Gordon, so he's up on the roof and he's going to light up the bat signal. And here comes Batman, and it's the Thomas Wayne Batman. So he's the one who climbed out of the pit, and he's got a gun. Like we're seeing the gun on the belt. This is a different Batman. Well, obviously, it's a Thomas Wayne Batman. So the world has gone wrong. Thomas Wayne returned to Gotham and is working with Bane and this villain crew, which really doesn't align with what Thomas Wayne said he wanted. But I guess this is a Thomas Wayne who's now lost his wife because he wasn't able to resurrect her in the crypt. And now maybe he's just going to work for the villains and establish his own justice with all the bad guys. I don't know. All right, we're off to a mountain, and we got a mysterious figure climbing up the ice. to Pratt, I think, is where he's going. And this is clearly Bruce. I mean, we don't see Bruce, but it's Bruce. We're getting another story. Once there was a farmer who lost his horse. I I appreciated the storytelling style of King a lot in the beginning. I like it in his miniseries where he kind of tells a story within. There's like a little fable that's told within the story. But I'm a bit over it now for Batman. It's just it's used like every issue we get a little story and a little fable and a little. It's like all right, enough. So, one little page of a climb. We're back in the Batcave, and we're getting some more just shenanigans with uh, Thomas Wayne Batman, and he's posing like Batman. They're really playing up the villains or posing like the heroes. Like when I say posing, I mean they're acting. They're like picking their chin, and they're doing all this stuff. And hey, there's a new Alfred. That's strange. And he's off in the old Batmobile, and he's changed the Batmobile lights to red. And I don't know, by the way, how you come back from this in the sense that do the villains all now know that Thomas Wayne is hanging out because we've got we've got some of the villains hanging out in the Batcave, so they all know now that Bruce is Batman. Has that happened? It seems like it has, but anyway, so we get something. Here's something odd going on. So the ventriloquist is the new Alfred, basically here, and then he walks up to the screens, and there's something, some kind of umbrella man-like logo. Probably not. Probably not that guy. Anyway, he is kind of being hypnotized, or anyway, it seems like he's like, "Hey, you little servant," and it seems like the Psycho Pirate, but he's entranced by this. So now we're back to so then we're getting some scenes. I don't want to kind of read the whole comic, but basically Bruce is, climbing up and doing his thing, and we're getting more of the little fable. And then we're seeing more of kind of crushed Gotham here. Let's see. All right, so now we got some Two-Face stuff and Solomon Grundy, and oh no, Two-Face is this is a very different rendition of Two-Face. I don't know. Tony Daniel, some amazing Batman stories with Grant Morrison, and I definitely high marks to him. But there's definitely some very good illustrated, but very strange renditions. I'm not sure about this one, but I do like the fact that we got Two-Face and we get a close up kind of in his mouth, and like half the teeth are all kind of rotted and half are not. That's a nice touch. I don't remember seeing that before. But anyway, so Batman's crashing in, and he's off to kind of fight Solomon Grundy and the henchman of Two-Face. And in comes the new Robin, and the new Robin is Gotham Girl. And so she's basically like a Batman with a Superman sidekick, and she's just beating stuff up. And so there's a big reveal there. Again, Bruce is kind of marching his way up to kind of Everest. It's pretty much Everest. I mean, I thought this was Perch, but maybe not. I don't know. He's on a mountain at any rate, and he's climbing on up there. And then we're seeing Gotham Girl just beat the crap out of people. Let's see what she's saying. She's very talkative now. All of a sudden, and she's got. I mean, the old thing about her powers are killing her. Maybe that's done. Anyway, so she's just talking away. Like, maybe that's my main purpose, whole sidekick thing, the balancing light to the darkness, the orange, the yellow, and the gray to his black and more gray. He is very much a lot of what he says he is, and I shouldn't be all of what he is or most of what. It's fine. I mean, she's talking, but okay. I like, but let's see, conflicting thing. But still, I'm left with what? Talking or not talking? I don't know. I just don't know. All of us just say I'm Gotham Girl like Robin, but better, and you should stop. Cool. Okay. So she's giving her speech. And anyway, so she basically just looks like she's just lasering off this dude's arm. So that's cool. Laser beam eyes. I don't know. That's cool. It's a good use. I mean, Gotham Girl. It's interesting to have the dynamic of a Robin that's like Superman. You got a Superman Robin. That's interesting. So okay, So basically, then we get like a nice standoff here with Two Face, and Two Face is saying, um, that I think old Thomas Wayne is brainwashed here. So Two Face is basically saying, "Hey, I'm going to kill Harvey Dent here. You're supposed to bring me to the mask alive. You're not going to break orders." And then Thomas Wayne's talking about the false Batman. Um, that the false Batman got to do whatever he wanted, and he's basically talking Bruce is the false Batman. So that's kind of an odd. He was a child. I am not. It's hard to tell. It feels like maybe there's a bunch of brainwashing going on. I like to in the background, one of Two Face's little henchmen is like picking up his arm. Okay, okay. But anyway, so Batman basically uses Batarang right into Harvey Dent's eye. So again, this is kind of a comment I've had with a lot of the X-Men books: is things are happening here. Like, do all the villains now know? Does Ventriloquist know? Does the Psycho Pirate know that Bruce is Batman? Because they're hanging out in his cave and just doing things. We've got Two Face, and Batman just bataranged him right in the eye. So is Two Face going to be kind of two and a half face now? Because I mean, he's got a janky eye. So has he got like the Thor eye now on the human side? And I don't know. Anyway, so up comes Bruce, and he's heading up the mountain. This is what I do like. I like the parallel of the earlier Frank Miller, because it's reminding me a little bit of Batman Year One a long time ago. And so Bruce is up, and he's basically looking for the place he was trained, and the mountain is dead. Basically, he needs to be, I'm the pupil. Was anything left for me? And you know, he gets attacked by the monk, who says, I don't know why he's being attacked by the monk, but the monk basically, um, I'm not sure exactly what's happening in his yard. The monk stabs him in the neck, and then somebody sneaks up behind him with a crowbar. And okay, so then the guy stabs him in the neck, and the crowbar hits him in the head, and then down he goes. And he's like, "Man, she's going to be pissed. We're supposed to just be pretending. Whoever he was, I knew he wasn't right. What he's supposed to do." So then they're gonna rob Bruce. I don't know. This issue is meant to be the slow climb up of Bruce, but so far we're not seeing it. We're just seeing kind of shaken, broken Bruce getting the crap beat out of him by a couple people, like thugs pretending to be monks. I don't know. So, um, so good old Commissioner Hugo Strange and Thomas Wayne are checking out Harvey Dent. It's like, don't worry, I didn't kill him. One side's damaged. Here's Two Face alive. I severed some nerves, separating the sides of his brain through the eye. I'm not sure that's how biology works, but whatever. It's a comic. I mean, look, I'm not one of those guys who's going to be like, well, let me explain to you proper science and anatomy in a comic where you've got like, a Two Face running around and Solomon Grundy. I mean, I think anybody who does that's just being kind of a douche. I mean, come on, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We got crazy superpower people severing off arms with laser beam eyes. Let's not talk about the reality of anatomy. So anyway, Bruce takes off, says he's going to be upset. So now we're kind of thinking maybe that the Bane Legion of Villains is not aligned with the new Batman. So maybe he's doing his own thing, but he's kind of working with the villains in the same parallel that Bruce Batman wasn't aligned. I mean, he's aligned with the police, but they weren't completely on the same page. So we're kind of getting that dynamic, except the police are the villains and they own the city. Anyway, so Magpie. So basically, they dump old Bruce naked out in the snow. And they kind of head off saying we're going to tell Magpie everything. So kind of an interesting they we just basically straight up murdered Bruce. So again, do the villains all know? Like, now that the street thugs are talking about Bruce and they're going to report back to Magpie. So and everybody knows that Bruce is Batman, I guess. I guess that's where we are. Are we going to put the thing back in the genie back in that bottle? I don't know. So, we get, back to, we're going flash forward, off in the snow, and then we're back. We've got Two Face over in Arkham. We've got, I think this is Tweedledee and Tweedledum. I think that's who this is supposed to be. And they're saying, don't leave me. I don't want to talk to him. We're getting basically bad. Bane's supposed to show up and yell at Harvey. I think that's where we're going. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. This is cool because you guys get to see if I'm an idiot or not. Thomas is heading on back to the ventriloquist Alfred, and he's saying, get upstairs. You gotta have some dinner, and he's waiting for you up there. So that's good news. And Bruce is, in his underwear out in the snow, and even though with his neck having been chopped and kind of crowbar to the back of the head, I mean, he's clearly dead. I don't care if he's the Batman, but he he's dead at this point. So somebody comes across him. Oh, who could this be? I have my suspicions. Let's just say. Meanwhile, nope, it's not Bane. In comes the Psycho Pirate. He's coming in to talk to Two-Face, and he's going to cure Two-Face. Okay, so this is how Bane is getting his control over people. Still unsure if that is Psycho Pirate basically playing multiple games, because something was going on there with the ventriloquist earlier that didn't seem kosher to Bane's plans, but maybe I'm wrong. Meanwhile, Thomas has gone upstairs and he's having dinner with Alfred, and Alfred's like, "You're a dick," and Thomas is talking away. Hang on, kind of dropped. There we go. And all right, so they're having a little debate about what he's doing. That's fine. Bruce is being found by this mysterious person who's got a blanket. That's good. Maybe a needle and thread to sew up that wound in his neck would be a good plan. Psycho Pirate is gonna brainwash Two-Face, and he's gonna give him love, and you love Bane. So Psycho Pirate's brainwashing people for Bane. Great. Alfred's telling Thomas, Bruce is coming back. This time he's broken him. We broke him. It's like, he's given the old. Tom's like, he's never coming back. And Alfred's like, oh, yes, he will. And Tom's like, no, he won't. Ha ha ha. The villains have won forever, like we always do. And Alfred's like, you're going to get your ass kicked, but, whatever. And then, hey, it's Catwoman. Catwoman has saved Bruce, and she's kind of leaning over them. I don't know if the Catwoman mask is practical on Everest with snow, but whatever. It's warm. It's got fiber. It's got some fiber to it, and maybe some fleece on the inside. We don't see it because it looks like it hugs the skin, but it's got that micro fleece that Reed Richards invented to keep people warm. Oh, that's a different universe. Never mind. All right, well, that's the issue. So that's Batman 75. Bruce is still kind of hosed, but Catwoman's going to bring him back up and save him and rescue him, and love will heal all. I think there's some parallels in this issue. Obviously, there's a parallel of the villains. By the way, there's an extra story then of the commissioner, and we're looking at it's basically the offer. So this is how we're going to tie into the bigger Year of the Villain. So the old Lex Luthor offer, robots like flying around, and we see a couple shots of people like the villains are patrolling the streets. We've got Professor Pig is hanging a guy from stealing an apple, or no, he's knifing him. Some stuff's going on, but this is kind of the backup story. It's going to kind of, I don't want to say shoehorn in, but basically going to kind of show that, hey, here's all the villains. They've got Firefly's in the fire department, and Hush has got a badge, and Killer Croc is gonna give somebody a speeding ticket, and I mean it's fine. Here's Solomon. I guess Solomon Grundy's also been brainwashed from a few pages earlier. The dude still has no arm, and they're now on Bane's side. So the offered little robot dude is looking around, and there's some conversation back and forth. So basically, his offer is coming to Bane, and Bane's going to kind of reject it because he's already got what he needs, so he doesn't need this offer thing. So he's like, you can have all your multiverse and all the rest of this stuff. Good luck, but I'm controlling Gotham, so piss off. So anyway, that's the backup story. It's fine. So again, a couple parallels in this issue. Like I said, there's the obvious, the villains are the good guys now. They're brainwashed under Bane. Bane's controlling the city, so we're seeing what a Bane-controlled city will look like. But the other thing to draw your attention to is a parallel of love. What does love mean in terms of The brainwashing of Bane's, you will love Bane. That's how he's controlling people through love. At the same time, that's his version of love. And you have the Thomas Wayne version of love that he tried to apply to Bruce and failed, and that's why he is the new Batman and behaving who he is. And then we're also seeing kind of the true love of what Catwoman is going to do for Bruce. You see that love will save all. So this is the beginning of Bruce's climb back up. Clearly, I mean, that's clearly what's going to happen here. Is we're going to get Bruce kind of picking himself up, dusting himself off, thanks to Catwoman, and then go blow some shit up. So the interesting thing here is that this is creating a Batman who is more, I would say, emotionally tied and connected to Catwoman. That may or may not be a good thing, but that is what we're getting. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. I think one part of Batman's mystique for many, many years has been he is a loner. He's had Robin, he's had the family. Different writers have explored that about a Batman that works on his own, is a kind of born loner, but also has these other pieces to it. But as you've been reading along in Tom King's run, part of it has been, the question mark of can he ever truly love? Can Batman, connect himself to somebody else and still be Batman? And so this is an examination, I think, of Batman depending on someone, what that dependence means, how we get there. And so a lot of little pieces coming together over the next 10 issues, 12, with the limited series after that. Definitely, I think we're my prediction. I think we're still heading to a Batman Catwoman marriage. I think I have zero doubt in that at this point. Maybe not. Maybe they, the dumbest thing after all this would be they get to it and Batman goes, I've realized that I'm emotionally attached to you and we will always be together and everything else, but I don't need marriage to, marriage is an old fashioned kind of concept and, we're going to do something new and be bonded but not married. Don't do any of that crap. Just give the fans at least something out of all this. Either make him married or I don't know. I just think you should deliver on what you promised. So we were promised a wedding, deliver the wedding, stop, skipping out on it and just go for it. Overall, I mean, it's a fine issue. It definitely feels like some things were moving forward and that was good. I think whether you'll like this comic or not is really how much you get excited about the prospect of the villains asking like police in this tipsy-turvy upside-down world. If you like that, hey, this is for you. Gives you something new, gives something exciting. At the same time, I think a number of people are kind of getting tired of defying your expectations, and there's just too much of that now. We need to stop defying expectations and start meeting expectations. I think that's pretty key. I mean, you can see comic after comic after comic where they're doing kind of let's pull the rug out from under you, and oh, you didn't see this coming, and that's cool and all, but at some point you need to put your readers back on stable footing so they actually feel like they've got their bearings and they've hooked onto something good, and then you can go back to pulling the rug out from under them again. But if you constantly pull the rug out, it no longer works. You no longer surprise people, and I think that's where we're at. Anyway, thanks for listening to all this. I hope you have a great. Let's see, I'll publish it on Wednesday. Have a great Wednesday, and subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, share all over the place if you can, and follow me on Twitter at Comic Perch. And thank you.